Okay, so today we're going deep on something pretty important. This is intro message from Fibromyalgia Caregiving, close to my heart. And what we really want to do is kind of get to the heart of, what they're offering here.
Right.
What's the big promise?
Yeah.
How are they aiming to help folks?
Mm-hmm.
Both those taking care of people with fibromyalgia and those actually dealing with the chronic pain themselves.
Absolutely.
So we're looking at just their initial words online here.
Yeah.
This is for anyone listening who might be a caregiver or dealing with chronic pain or just curious about this whole world of support.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a big one.
Huge.
Right.
Yeah. And what jumps out right away is that sense of connection you get.
Oh, yeah?
You know that you are not alone.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you're dealing with fibromyalgia or caregiving, it can be so isolating.
Absolutely.
So to hear that right off the bat, that validation, that someone gets it,
It's powerful.
it's huge.
It is. And it's clear they're talking to two different groups here, right? They mention helpful tips for caregivers.
Mm-hmm.
And then acknowledging how tough it is for those living with fibromyalgia every day.
For sure.
I mean, it's so important to recognize both sides.
Absolutely. It's easy to just focus on the person with the condition, but
Yeah.
this platform, by including caregivers, they're acknowledging the emotional and practical demands. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And saying caregiving has its ups and downs, moments of strength and moments of struggle. I mean, that's the real deal for so many people.
Yeah, it feels so human,
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't sugarcoat it, but then right away they talk about love and resilience.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's tough, but there's strength in this journey too.
Exactly.
And then they mention these stories of hope. So why are those so important to share here?
Well, because it's like seeing it in action, right? You see someone else dealing with the same stuff, finding those little joys or managing symptoms. It gives you real hope and practical ideas instead of just, empty encouragement.
Like a roadmap, kind of. They also talk about advice for managing fibromyalgia symptoms. So what kind of guidance would be most helpful for folks living with it?
Well, fibromyalgia is so complex, right?
Oh, right.
It's the pain, the fatigue, the brain fog. So
Yeah.
I'd say they'll probably cover a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Tips for pain relief strategies, for fatigue, and how to navigate daily life,
Yeah.
Having good information is key.
And they emphasize emotional support for caregivers, too.
Yeah.
They say, because you deserve to feel supported, too. And that really brings it back to that dual focus.
Yes, absolutely. Caregiver burnout is a real issue. And by acknowledging that emotional toll and providing that space for support and sharing strategies, they're addressing a major need that's often ignored,
Totally.
So that focus on caregiver support is huge.
It is. And then they get to that call to action, right?
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, and share, and be part of a community where we lift each other up, where we share the journey, and where you will always find a little more light along the way.
I love that.
It's all about that support network.
It is, and it really speaks to their goal of fostering that feeling of belonging and, encouraging each other. And the language, lift each other up,
Yeah.
share the journey, find a little more light.
Yeah.
It echoes that initial message of, we're all in this together.
Right. So Fibromyalgia Caregiving, close to my heart, they're building a community for both those living with fibromyalgia and the people caring for them.
Yeah.
It's about acknowledging the realities, but also promoting hope and resilience and that feeling of not being alone.
Yeah. You nailed it. That's a really great summary.
Thanks. I appreciate it. And you know what this whole deep dive has really shown is the unseen work and emotions involved in caregiving and the impact of chronic pain.
Totally.
It makes you think about how we can all support these folks no matter what the specific condition is.
Absolutely.
So I guess the question is, how else can we offer that light along the way for those going through this? Something to think about, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for joining me on this one.
Thanks for having me.
It's really insightful.
Yeah, it was great.
We'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Bye.